Hello, good to see you again. This is Shatsuvara, and today I want to talk to you about the issue I have with the Z8 and time lapses. So I'm going to go through and I'll show you what the Z8 and the Z7 II look like when you go into set up a time lapse. It's unfortunate. I mean, the Z8 is an amazing piece of equipment. It's unfortunate that there are such niggly things that give the use case of time lapse, make it more difficult. Make it more difficult than, say, the Z7 II, which is a wonderful camera, great sensor. It has 14-bit dynamic range compared to the 12-bit of the Z8. Not that I've really been able to tell any difference. It probably does not make any like quantifiable difference, but still, you still get more leeway if you need it, if you ever need it, right? So I'm not sure. I'm going to jump in and I'll show you guys what I mean and the difference between the two. And also, the other difference is that the Z7 II is much lighter, and so I guess I could use the Z8 as a kind of like all in one, birds, landscape, video. And I actually have bought another little clamp to do monitoring. So that's for another video though. Like I'll show you how you can use a really, like pretty much a very cheap app to do monitoring on the Z8 on cable. But for now, let's go and have a look at the Z8 and the Z7 II and talk about the time-lapse features. All right. Hello, so here we have on the left hand side we have our Z8 and on the right hand side we have the Z7 II. It's a big difference, isn't it? They're the same height, really. Essentially, there's give or take 5 millimeters. But yeah, you can see here it's quite a big difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the menu for each of them. Screen. Oh, let's turn it on. So we've got menu here. I think let's just go back here. We go menu and then menu. What I like about the menu is like you get that kind of a slight haptic feedback on the Z7 II here, and so I'll just move this a bit closer. You can see it. Squeeze it in here. There we go. Could possibly lift this up a little bit, but anyway, this is good enough. All right. So what we have here is our menus. We're going to jump into the photo menu and jump into interval timer shooting. And same here, we'll go into the photo menu right at the end. Right at the end, and we have the interval timer shooting here also. So you can see here, the menus are essentially the same. So I'll just put them like that, so that you can see. Hopefully you guys can read that, and the focus is good. All right, so we've got choose start date time. That's all the same. We've got the interval, which is the same. We have the interval shots. That's good. Exposure smoothing on. We have the interval priority. We don't have the interval priority on the Z7 II. Now what the interval priority does is it means that whatever's going on, the interval takes priority. So if you have like a shutter speed that is long, then the interval will actually take priority and turn off the photo. Which you don't have on this, but I never use it because it's kind of like, well, the interval is a certain number of seconds and I'll know what it is, and then the shutter speed generally goes down. I haven't had to face that issue. Obviously, focus before each shot. Oh no, sorry, my bad. We do have interval priority on the Z7 II. So it's just a bit further down. So focus before each shot. Yeah, obviously you don't want to do that because you can get different focus. It makes your time lapse look quite weird. I have not found a use case for that. And then here we have options, and then we have starting storage folder, storage folder. One thing that you have here, right, is that it's called silent photography. And silent photography, what it does on the Z7 II, it stops the shutter or the shutter screen. It does in an electronic shutter mode. Now, the problem with the Z8. The problem with this Z8, the huge problem for time-lapse, something that I can't believe they kind of overlooked, is that when you start, right, let's see, can we start this? Why can't we start it? This option is come with settings in the current camera state. Maybe it's, have I got auto bracketing on or something? Let's see. Let's see. We've got portrait landscape, custom settings bank, and then can I do the time lapse here now? Interval time shooting. Start. Yeah, I can. So whatever setting was in portrait, custom bank. So I'll start it, and I don't have silent photography on at the moment, so I'll show you what I mean here. Right? I'll go into settings and I'll go into silent mode. We'll turn that off. Right? Silent mode is the only way I can see to turn off that turn off silent mode. Silent mode makes it quiet so you don't have any sound at all. But I want to show you something. I've turned silent mode off on time-lapse. Now remember, this is the Z8. There is no shutter, right? And look, tell me if I'm missing something, but you know, if you guys know about this, please let me know. If you have had a problem with this, then yeah, I mean, I'd love to know more people's experiences with this because it seems like such a huge issue. All right, so basically what happens here is I'll start it, right? Oh, can it start in video mode? Maybe that's the problem. There we go. Let's switch it to photo mode. Let's go to photo mode, menu again, time of shooting, and we'll start. Now listen to this. So you can hear that click? So one photo. There. Hear that? There. Did you hear that clicking sound? That sounds like the sensor protector. Or something. I don't know what that sound is, but if I go to menu, we'll turn off. Turn off. Now if I turn it on silent mode on, and go into shooting and start, and look, now that's silent. Now you get the similar thing on the Z7 too, right? So you have this, you go into interval time of shooting, like I can make it silent photography off, and this is the sound that it makes. No, you probably can't hear that. Maybe you can't even hear that. All right, so, but basically there's the sound here. I can turn it off, turn off the interval, and I can do silent photography off in this setting, and I can do it specifically for the interval timer shooting also, silent photography. So you go like this. So it still makes some kind of sound on the Z7 II, even though I have silent photography, but it doesn't have this thunking sound. And that's the sound that it kind of like scares me on the Z. Well, let's turn this off. Turn this off. All right, turn them both off now. All right, so as you can see, the Z8 has a problem with time-lapse setup. You needed silent photography setting just for time-lapse. Z7 II has this. I find, you know, this camera is much lighter than this one. You know, so even though I'm, you know, it's just overall it's lighter, it's smaller, it's easier to take around. So I just don't know. Should I take the Z7 II when I do time lapses with the Z6 III? You know, because I use the Z6 III for vlogging and video, and I can't use the Z8 to video while I'm doing video on while I'm doing time lapse on the Z8. No, it's kind of like a conundrum. I'm almost tempted to switch over from the Z6 III to the Sony ZV-E1 because it's light, it's small. I mean, I don't only need it for vlogging, and I just need that high, well, that S-Log 3 or an N-Log profile, so I don't clip the highlights, and I've got a bit more dynamic range to work with. Yeah, guys, I'll just jump back onto the camera and I'll talk about this a little bit more. Okay, well, there you go. I don't know. I'll have to check. I'll have to check in the video if it's if you can actually hear the clicking sound. But on the Z7 II, when you have silent photography on, there's a very slight kind of click sound, very slight. You can hear it, but it's not, even though it's not silent, it's very, very slight. If you have it off, there's a big kind of like a thunk sound every time it takes a photo. On the Z8, you know, if There is no silent photography setting inside the time-lapse settings. So if I do set it to silent mode, sure, it's quiet, but I don't understand why on that camera they turn the sensor shield on and off when doing time-lapse photography. Nikon, if you do see this video, if someone from Nikon or a Nikon ambassador does see this video, then please let them know. I will share this video with some of the big Nikon YouTubers like Australia, Matt Granger and Matt. So I will share that with you. Hopefully this gives you some insight about which choice to make when selecting a camera for time-lapse photography. Thanks guys. I'll see you at the next video. Bye.